junkies out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Hey, and the show does start now. I am your host, Johnny Allen. This is the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Hey, welcome to July 9th, 2020. Hopefully you guys had a nice 4th of July. I know I did. Hopefully you celebrated Independence Day. I know that sounds weird, but some people actually don't celebrate Independence Day anymore. Very disturbing and just very sad. Basically very sad. Okay? Thanks again for stopping by my channel. If you're your first time subscriber, first time stopping here, I'm Johnny Allen, like I said, and I talk about everyday life situations. So welcome to the channel. And the channel I endorse, on this channel rather, we're going to get it out. Well, let's get it out right now. DieselCoffee.com. ShopDieselCoffee.com. This is the one that Tim sent me as a freebie. Wild Jamaican, sweet vanilla bean, caramel, and aged rum with a hint of coconut. Oh my gosh. Have you guys ever seen a coffee like that? Now come on, really, seriously, read that. Read that for a minute. You tell me if you've ever seen a brand like that. If you do, comment below. I don't think so. Aged rum and a hint of coconut. Good stuff. Good stuff. We'll take a swig right now. Thank you, Tim. And this is Memories to Nickel Plate. It's no longer there anymore. I made a little bit of iced coffee out of that today. So again, welcome to the show. This is the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Like I said, I talk about everyday life situations. How was your 4th of July? Mine was great. You know, I still celebrate 4th of July because it's the independence of the country. It has nothing to do with the anarchy that's going on today. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But first of all, what I'd like to do is I would like to share a video, about a 15-minute video. It's rough. I'm going to warn you right now, it's rough. I just got out there with the cell phone and did a tour. I'll show this and share this with you. 15 minutes, a tour. And I just had to put it down on social media for the weekend. Talk about that when we get back from the video tour. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy, guys. I just don't understand really what's going on. But we're going to chat about it. So without further ado, like I said, this video is 15 minutes. And I think you guys will find it interesting. It's totally different than anything I've really done, sort of. Anyway, check out the tour, and I'll see you guys in about 16 minutes. Here it is.
This actually here is a little storage barn with the siding on it. Is from the old cabin that originally stood on this property. I took some of the wood and converted it to just a little storage building. I'm going to walk around the corner here and show you guys a tree that's over 230 years old. We're going to walk up on this tree here. They had one tree cut down the property because it's diseased, unfortunately, and it was dying. I counted the rings of that tree, and it dates to 183 years ago, which would have been around 1836. But this is the tree here that's over 200 years old. You can hear the woodpecker. Lots of nature out here. It's just a beautiful place. Approaching this tree here. This tree I estimate, I don't know for sure, but it's a good estimation. We figured this tree dates back to about 1756, which is before the independence of this country. So when this tree here was a little bitty twig growing, this was a territory. It wasn't even a state. But this tree here is huge. That gives you an idea how big this tree is. It stands about, I don't know, it's got to be at least 400 feet. It has a branch, a V here, right there. It branches off, and it's huge. But this tree is at least over 200 years old. It's got to be because, like I said, I'll come up here to this next tree that was cut down. This one here, pretty big, not near as big as the one we just looked at. The other one was this one is 183 years old. This tree was 183 years old. Oh, actually 181. I counted the rings. 181 years old, this tree right here. And the stump of this tree is much smaller than the big one that I just showed you way down there in the corner. It's probably at least, the other one is probably, at least a foot wider, if not more. Actually, probably about 2 feet wider. So you got to add at least 100 more rings to that. So you're talking that tree could be, possibly upwards to 300 years old, pushing. Astounding, really, astounding. Astounding. Anyway, one more last tour here I want to show you guys. I told you guys last week I was going to have a fun podcast and something a little bit different. Well, this is it. So I'm doing it over the phone. The quality might not be the greatest, but you do get a tour. Now this little tree right here actually came out of my yard. I got this at Earth Day several years ago from the day job, and I transplanted it from my backyard because I didn't have room. It was going to get too big, and we wasn't sure if it was going to make it. You can tell that branch right there, or the trunk rather, the little trunk was actually, it didn't make it. So it died, and we had to cut it off. But it came back to life. It stayed alive rather, and you can see it there starting to come up.
That's a good place for me to go. It's like a bed and breakfast. It's just nice to get away out there and where it's peaceful and quiet. And I don't get real good cell phone connection down there. You know, it's okay. I laid the social media down for the weekend. I told the wife, I said, you know what? I got to put this crap down. I'm just tired of what's going on all over the place. I come home and I see this news. And we'll indulge in that. Comment below. Tell me what you did for 4th of July. We did not cook out because it was kind of hot, but we did get carry-out barbecue from one of the local restaurants, which is great. Great barbecue down there. Before I go any further, you guys know, and if you don't know, you're going to find out now that I'm a musician. And my brother and I released an album a few years ago, and I'm going to plug this record right now. I got a few of these CDs left. If you guys are interested, just hit me below in the comments, and we'll hook up, and I'll get you one of these CDs. But if you like kind of hard rock, heavy blues, heavy-edged rock and roll, with one really kick-butt ballad called My Regret, which you guys can check out on the YouTube channel, the Slack Brothers. Anyway, this is it. It's called the Slack Brothers, okay? And on the back, there is the song titles, okay? It's a shorter album, but if you guys would like one of these, let me know. It rocks, and I used to use actually Heads Up as the intro music to this podcast, which I may go back to doing that. But if you guys are interested, hit me up, and I'll make you really a good deal on this CD. It's really kick butt. Chrysler is a song about muscle cars and pretty girls, and it's about Chrysler back in the day. Blinded by the Light, of course, is a remake that my brother and I did. It's kicking pretty good. Heads Up, an original, pretty hard rocking. Regret is one I wrote that almost got actually put into a movie. Came very close, but we're going to try again. It was like the top 5 cut. It was the last top 5 songs, or the last 5 songs. That was going to cut in a major motion picture. But anyway, that's another story for another time. But anyway, that's the Slack Bros album. And I mentioned that, too, to let you guys know on the music front. Crossroads Saints getting ready to go into the studio next Friday, a week from tomorrow. We are going to start producing our second album at the Round Table Recording Studio. Actually, it's Round Table Recording, which is in Broad Ripple, Indiana. If you're a musician and a band, I highly recommend going there. It's state-of-the-art, and I'll put videotape of our sessions and things on the Crossroads Saints YouTube channel. Anyway, okay, so we're going to go on to my talking points today. And what it is basically, guys, well, I got some stuff. Okay. First of all, I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, you guys know I follow Sean James, right? And I'm gonna start doing the Sean James quote of the week. And this was a quote that Sean James did, and I loved it. Just a little quote. He's out. I'm setting this up now. He's outside of his place, which is he's out in the middle of the woods. He's got a homestead in Canada. And a hawk flies by. As he's doing the narration for his video, a hawk flies over. There's various other wildlife going on. And it was real quiet. He's like, oh, there's a hawk. That's a hawk. And then another one flew over. And he just kind of stopped and he sat and looked at the camera and he goes, real just nonchalantly, he goes, that's why I love it here. In my backyard. I live in an addition. But it's pretty quiet for an addition. It's nothing like I just showed you on the video tour. But that's his quote of the day. He goes, this is why I love this place. Can you imagine not having to go punch a clock, 9 to 5? Now he works hard, and he still has to go to the store. Still has sources of income. He saved a lot of money from a previous business. I don't want to go on and bore you with the history of Sean, and he makes money on his YouTube channel. He's got over 1 million subscribers. His YouTube channel is really cool. But could you imagine not having to go in every day to the grind, kind of steering away from the news, not having to get involved in all this crap going on? And I love Facebook, but it's getting to be like all the other social media outlets. Everybody's so angry and disappointed and fed up, and this group's doing this and this group's doing that, and we got some bad players out there, I'll tell you. We got some bad players out there. They're taking what was and this is just all my opinion. I honestly believe that. They were taking a tragic event and now they're blowing it up and twisting and turning. Some of them are, and it's just not right. It's almost like this bent up frustration went from one thing to bent up frustration of stuff that went on 100, 200 years ago, and that's the past, you know. Anyway, it's been up frustration, and like I talked about bandwags and stuff, and they're all joining in and doing a lot of distrust or dishonest and destruction to the country, which actually is dishonest to themselves. And I'll explain this. This sounds weird. These groups, okay? Okay, here's what happens when you destroy, when you start having chaos and inner turmoil in a country, which like ours, and ours is a great country. Okay, we have our problems like everybody else, but it's a great country. It's not like North Korea or some of the Middle East countries or some, some of those countries. You guys know, war-torn countries, and like in some of the places in Africa, like Somalia, places of this nature, Syria. And I feel deeply sorry for these people who live in these regions. I do. It's horrible. But look at the United States of America. We don't all have it great. We don't all have lots of money. But we still have one thing, and that's what we have, is we have freedom. We have freedom to go. I don't promote it, but we have freedom to go destroy stuff. I'm totally against that, but you can still do that in this country without being basically put to death. Because if you did that in North Korea, you're put to death. They have to salute Kim Jong-un's statue every day when they drive by. As they're driving every day to work or wherever they're going, they have to salute him. Could you imagine a country where it's mandatory to salute the dictator? Okay, my point is this: we don't have that here in this country yet. But if we continue and we can't get along and make this stuff work, guys, between these various groups, you know what I'm talking about, and we can't squash this anger for a bit, we can't settle down, come to the table and talk about things and negotiate, not everything go one person's way or one group's way, and not everything going the other group's way. If we can't get this together and we can't make a nice compromise that works for everyone, guys, you know what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. We're going to have a foreign adversary come over and take over, because the foreign adversary, and I won't name it, you can probably figure it out on your own. And I'll link a channel that I follow on YouTube on here. You guys can watch her channel. But anyway, if we continue with this chaos, it's all done by an upper power that is supporting this stuff, right? Kind of causing this thing to happen, with the virus and everything going on. If your country's disarrayed, it's easy for the enemy to come in and take over. Enemy comes in and takes over, guess what? Things change drastically. We think we got it bad now, and I'm talking about these groups that are not happy with what's going on. If you think you got it bad now, it'd be really bad if we were taken over by a communist country, a dictatorship. Everything's going to, it will not be good. I'm telling you, it will not be good. So my suggestion is that we just get these groups calmed down. Let's get along. You know what would be great if the white Confederate people that, Southern Pride or whatever you want to call them, the Confederate guys, and the real Black Lives Matter, not even Black Lives Matter, but really like the Black Anarchy, anyway, I'm going to say the bad groups, or the really, not even the bad groups. I don't know what I should call these guys. The groups that are really intense. I'm going to call these two intense groups. Wouldn't it be great to get them together and just have a cookout and talk? Lay the guns down. Stop marching. Stop cussing at each other. Stop bitching and moaning and groaning. Just say, you know what? We're going to cook out. We're going to sit down, have a couple beers. We're going to talk this stuff over. We'll see if we can work out our differences, because we are the United States of America. We all live in this country. And let's just all get along. And we need to stay strong, guys, not divided, is what I'm trying to say. We need to stay strong as a people. When I mean people, I mean every race that's here living in this country. We have to stay together, because we got forces outside of this country that want to take it over. And if they take it over, everybody's rights gone. Now, I have a lot of friends that are black, and we talk about this thing. What I just talked about. They agree with me 100%. They say, you're right, John, you're right. And I'm just an average guy. I'm 56 years old. I'm not racist. I love everyone. I don't care what they do, as long as they don't do violent stuff like I'm talking about. I'm just all about getting along. Just get along. And we can work our differences out. We can get along. You know what it reminds me of, and I'm gearing up to here's my next talking point, is that basically these groups that are doing this stuff, and I'm talking about every group, I'm not pinpointing to one group. Every group that wants to stir up violence and destroy stuff, you know what? You're basically like in high school again, or basically like middle school, or whatever they call it, junior high. I used to call it junior high in my day. It's like kids in a school ground having a fight. You know, well, so and so did this, so I hate them. So and so did this, so I hate them, and screw this, and blah blah blah, and flip each other off, cuss each other out, and screw these people, and screw that people, and blah 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 blah. You're like school children in the playground. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up, people. Let's grow up. Grow up. And I didn't realize, and I can't get into a bunch of stuff because it's not a political show. Like I said, I'm just an everyday life common guy observing what's going on. I work hard every day. I just try to make ends meet. I'm not rich. I don't even think I'm privileged. Some people may say because of the color of my skin, I'm privileged. I'm not. I've never been privileged. I get along with everybody. I've worked hard for what I've gotten. I've never got every job I've ever applied for. I've got turned down a lot. I've got turned down with music. I've got turned down a lot on everything. And that's just me. I can't speak for everybody, but me. I'm a 56-year-old dude, and I just want peace on the earth, man, in this country. Starting off this country. This country, we're supposed to lead by example here, right? Everybody looks at the United States, lead by example. Our enemies are just biting. They're just like, yeah, look at this. They're grinning. They're like, look at the chaos that's over there in America right now. Wow, we could just go in there. Like I said, we got to be really careful about what we're doing, guys. Really, really careful. Please be careful. I'm just talking basically, let's just ease the tensions. Ease the tensions down everywhere in the country. Let's just cut it out. Let's just cut it out. Everybody go home. Think about what you're doing. Create a good, neutral, peaceful platform to discuss the real problems. Because I know we have real problems, right? We work them out. That's called being mature. That's not being a kid in a playground. I'm going to get you out. That's what kids do in the playground. Okay, that's why I'll probably rant on that. So anyway, and I would like my next note, I'd like to talk about is this also goes for people that aren't rioting and tearing stuff up. This is just people that are working and in general, and just people in general, okay? You got differences, right, in people. I observe these people that have differences, right? And these are things I want to point out. Differences in people's personalities and behaviors. You have the ones that like to help. When somebody's having a problem, you got the people that want to go out and try to help people. They see someone struggling or having an issue with something. It doesn't matter if it's at work, wherever, in a public spot, in a restaurant or whatever. And I'll use a couple examples, man. I just witnessed one today. This is a great example, and this is the kind of behavior that I hope spreads and goes viral besides the junk we're seeing right now on social media, right? The violence and all that stuff. That kind of junk I'm talking about. Not the good stories. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about, guys. The differences of people. Some people are willing to help, lend a hand, go, over and beyond to help someone. I'll use an example, two examples of one that's myself, happened to me personally the other day. And I'll use an example of what happened today in the work. This is in the workplace. So today I witnessed three, African-American women, very friendly, very nice, no problems. They don't have hang-ups that I know of. They don't show it anyway. An elderly white woman carrying a bunch of flowers in a cart. Her daughter was in the hospital in bad shape. Okay? And she's trying to truck all the stuff on her own, flowers and everything. So the black ladies stop her. These are younger black ladies. They stop her and say, hey, those are beautiful flowers. Who are they for? Blah, blah, blah. And it was a nice conversation. And the elderly Caucasian woman said, they're for my daughter. She's in the hospital. She's recovering. All this. And they were just going on about how the flowers are beautiful. You did such a good job. You put those together yourself? And she said, yes. And then here was the best part of it. And like my shirt says, let's talk about good things. And that's what we're doing today. This happened today. And kudos to this beautiful black woman who did this. She asked the woman if she needed help taking them upstairs. The three nice young black ladies say, tell the elderly Caucasian woman, can we help you take these upstairs? And she says, no, I love that. They got a cart and helped her wheel that stuff up to her daughter's room. Now, that's the kind of things we need to be doing in life. That's a story right there that is great, right? Just fantastic example. Another example of what happened with me, I had an issue with something at work. This guy that kind of takes care of these kind of things just volunteered to help. He didn't have to volunteer to help. Example of good behaviors, things that we need to be doing. I told him thank you. Thank you for doing it. He had expertise in the field where I was having a little question about something, and he, like I said, he went beyond the call of duty to come and help me out. Now the flip side of that, I'm helping the crew out and working really hard. And to say this gently, I thought someone was helping me and ended up not helping me. Ended up just basically saying, a mistake was made and I took care of it, and I'm going to just report it to your boss and let her see it. That's not the thing to do. Why should you point out somebody's flaws and say, I'm going to make him pay for that mistake and blah, blah, blah. I'll show him kind of thing. There's no reason for that kind of thing. Very disappointing on that kind of behavior. Anyway, that's about all I got today, guys. Basically in a nutshell, I still celebrate the 4th of July. It's still a free country. Let's keep it there. Summary of the podcast today. I enjoyed being out away from the social media for a while, taking a break from it, getting out where it's quiet, and enjoying family and friends. And that's what you got to do, okay? Examples of good behavior, that bringing togetherness to the groups that are upset with each other right now. Let's not push an agenda too hard either way. We got to have middle ground, come to terms. We all live in this country. We all share this country. Let's don't, like I said, let's don't have a bigger adversary on the outside. If you guys even thought about that, taking it over because we can't, correct our little differences here, right? Because we're letting our emotions override our reasonings. I say that a lot. So anyway, thanks again for subscribing to the show. I ran over a little bit today, but love you guys. Let's have peace in the world. Let's have peace in this United States of America. It's still free. Let's keep it that way. Remember, we can have a good, honest change. We can fix problems, and let's do it peacefully. That's all I got to say about that. Hopefully we will. Hopefully examples of what I noticed today will set the stage for the future, right? All right, guys, remember, let's talk about good things. Let's stop pumping that social media and getting everybody angry and all upset, okay? Just feeds the fire. All right. You know who willing. I'll see you next week.